All right, I'm back at camp over at Simpson Springs, and I'm going to make some tortillas, and I'm going to try to cook them on a rocket stove, SilverFire rocket stove that I got this winter. So I like this King Arthur flour, and I got this grapeseed oil. Now I know you don't use grapeseed oil to make tortillas, but I love trying different oils. I've tried lard, grapeseed oil, sesame seed oil, duck fat, Crisco, and probably something else I can't remember offhand, but this grapeseed oil is one of my favorites, and that sesame oil is pretty good too, and Crisco is pretty good. Got my baking powder, my salt, and the measuring cup is for warm water. I'm going to make it's going to be about 5 or 6, so it's not going to be too much. I'll have the ingredients I'll write down, and I'll put it in this video. Got my mixing bowl where I'm done making the dough ball. I'm going to let it rest for 10 minutes, maybe 15, but around 10 minutes. And then when I'm letting it rest, I will go out there and start a fire in that rocket stove. And it's pretty windy out there, so I don't know how this is going to go. And I might not be able to talk my way through this, over the wind when I'm outside. So if it's really windy, I'm going to end up putting on music to get through it. Alright, so I'll be back a little later. Okay, I just wanted to go over the ingredients real quick. I got 1 3/4 cups of flour. I'm going to have a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to have 3 tablespoons of oil. And I'm going to have a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cups of warm water to go in there. So I'll get this stuff mixed up, put together, and I'll be back. Okay, I have the dough, everything mixed together. Now if it's too dry, what you're going to do is just add a little more water. And if it's too wet, you're just going to add a little more flour. You just sprinkle some flour on. You get some flour and you just sprinkle it on. And continue to, I think it's called kneading the dough. And what I do is I just fold it over on itself. If it starts getting real sticky, I'll put a little flour on it. And you'll do this, I don't know, a couple minutes. I like to put flour on. If it starts sticking to your hands, that's when you add flour. Okay, here it is. Then you got your flour ball. I'll put a little more flour on it, just sprinkle it around. And then what I want to do is I'm gonna want to cover it up. Okay, I added all the ingredients together. I rolled it in the ball. Then I think it's called kneading or something, where you turn the dough over on itself through your hands. There's the dough ball. I'm going to want to let it rest now for about 10 minutes. This is good enough. So I'm going to let it sit there for 10 minutes. I'll come back, I'll roll them out. I think I'm going to try to get a fire going in that rocket stove. It's gotten real windy here, so again, I think the volume is going to be an issue. Okay, got the fire going out there on the rocket stove. I'm going to break these off into little balls. That might have been too big. So I have 5. I'm going to go ahead and put some flour in my green bowl. Put these in here, kind of roll them around. Then I'm going to put some flour on my cutting board. This is a very small cutting board. And put some on my roller. Hopefully I'm not going to make too big of a mess. But what I do is I'll just go ahead and flatten it down, kind of roll them out a little, and then well, now roll them out. And I don't care if they're round or not, I just care how they taste. So I'm going to say that one's ready. Put it over here. Now I'll continue with number 2. I'll just kind of flatten it out a little before I start rolling it. Put some more flour down. My mom used to make tortillas and I loved them. And she used to make chile verde and I loved it. And I did learn from her how to make chile verde, but I never got her recipe for the tortillas. So I had to learn that kind of on my own. So there's my second one.
A little more flour. It's actually not making a mess. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of flatten it out with my hands. Put it down, get some flour on the rolling pin. Okay, that one's good. Then, you know, with each one, I just put a little more flour down. Just keep things going. This is the one that was a little big.
Oh, with onion skin. And if you like them a little thick, you just leave them a little thick. If you like them thin, you roll them out thin. It really does not matter. And again, you know, the roundness, it doesn't matter. It's all how it tastes when you're done. That's the important part. Okay, the last ball here. Again, I'm just kind of flattening it out. A little flour. And then just roll it out. If it sticks to your roller, just add a little more flour. Now I got the rocket stove going on outside, and it is windy, so I don't think we're going to have a very good audio going outside. So I'll just going to wipe off my hands. I just put them in here in this pan, I'm going to take them outside. Okay, I got the, this is the SilverFire rocket stove. I'm going to open this chamber, push this wood in, you just push it in as it burns, kind of close it down. Got the cast iron on it. Let's see, there's a flame and coals building up. What I'm going to do is get some wood and drop it down that top. So, and then all I'm going to do is take those tortillas and put them on that cast iron and cook them. Probably about 60 seconds to, depending on how hot that pan is, up to 2 minutes. So 60 seconds or 30 seconds to 2 minutes on each side, depending on how fast they brown up. Okay, there's a good flame coming out this top. I'm just going to go ahead and put the first one down and just see how it does. Let it smoke out a little bit. It's really windy, so probably not getting no volume. Okay, you take a look at it. It's starting to brown up pretty good. Oh, it's starting to inflate up, so that's a good sign. So I'll just keep doing this for a couple of minutes. This is called it's called the SilverFire rocket stove. I think there might be some other name to it too. Oh, let's go up the hill. I'm sure the wind is just crazy on this, but I don't know. I got a couple of baked potatoes in my solar oven. Just, you know, feeding the wood through here. See the flame, and then I'll push the wood up. And it's working pretty good. I'm gonna have me some tortillas. All right, back in a little while.